While I was pleased Fairlight wanted to read, I couldn't understand why the women were reluctant to sell their handicrafts. Families in the Gap were so poor, they never had enough money even for basic needs like food and clothes. And when I thought of the children using rags for shoes, I decided to write to some friends anyway and see if there was any interest in the beautiful things I'd seen these women make.
Miss Christy! Something terrible's happened! Come quick! What have they done? Oh, Lord have mercy. Ruby May, go get Mr. Grantland. Bring her, Miss Allen! Miss Allen!
Is he all right?
I think so, but look at his hair.
It's Ault. I know it.
David, there's no telling who it could be.
How am I supposed to reach out to a man like this when he's capable of such a mean-spirited act against a poor, dumb animal?
Matthew 5:39, and I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but
Don't.
whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek.
Don't quote the Bible to me.
God, they cut off his tail.
Prince looked pathetic. Sam Houston loved him so much, I knew he'd be devastated.
He was so purty with that long mane just as blowing back in the wind. Now he looks plumb unnatural, like a mule. Pet him. He can't help it.
No, can't help it. Don't mend it.
Children, I know it's upsetting to see Prince this way, but he isn't hurt, and his hair will grow back.
Someone was full of meanness for sure, and I bet it was Ault Allen.
Ruby May, that kind of talk won't help anything. Now, why don't you all go on home before you're late for supper? Prince will be just fine. Fairlight, I'm glad you're here. I was worried you might have too many chores.
It's learning time. That house has been there 100 years. It'll be there tomorrow.
Good. Shall we get started? There are lots of beautiful words in this book.
Well, how soon will I be able to read it?
In no time at all. And I'll tell you why. Because every single word in that book, and all the words together, use only 26 English letters. All you have to do is learn these letters right here and how to put them together, and you can read.
Honest? That's all I have to do? Is just learn them letters?
Start at the beginning. A.
A.
B.
B.
And so, Fairlight and I began our weekly lessons.
C.
No wonder your parents let you work here, Ruby May. You eat more than all of us together.
Lordy, Miss Ida, I reckon your ma was one fine cook.
I wrote a letter to Mother today, and I didn't have the heart to tell her about the Bible.
It's very considerate of you, Ida. There's no need to upset her.
Well, she's upset enough as it is. She had hoped we'd be back in Boston by now.
You ones ain't thinking of leaving.
No, we're not. But there are some folks in Cutter Gap who'd rather not have us around.
David, there are so many more who do want you here.
David would do fine wherever he went.
Ault?
Here to invite you and Miss Christy to a working come Saturday. Aim to clear the mountain back of my brother's place.
It's nice of you to ask us. What time?
Any time that suits you.
We'll be there.
I don't, for the life of me, understand these people. Ruby Mae, will you help me with these dishes? I'll pack up a basket for you to take to Aunt Polly's.
This isn't just going to go away.
In the mountains, a man's only chance to get his land cleared was to ask for the help of his neighbors. The custom of a working was to combine hard work and play, make a holiday of it. But today, we were feeling somewhat less than festive.
Howdy, Miss Christy. Morning, preacher.
Morning, Ault.
Mr. Allen?
Save that there spot just for you, preacher. Women folk are over there.
We're working on Granny Barclay's quilt. Come on.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Miss Alice would have liked to be here, but she's in Cataloochee. Oh, I have good news. I wrote a friend of mine in Asheville, and she said that a well-made quilt or a nicely woven blanket could fetch a good price in the city. Well, I know you're overloaded enough as it is with your families and your chores, but I couldn't help but think that this would be better than just...
Miss Christy, I see you brought a book with you. Could you read something for us?
Right now?
Be best.
It's called A Tale of Two Cities by Mr. Charles Dickens. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was a mountain custom for the men to eat first, and for the women to serve them. David, her hands.
Hey, Bob, why don't you tell that tale about that preacher named Dry Guy?
Well, let's see here now. Once in this here cove, there's this old preacher person named Dry Guy. Wasn't good for much, except in taking up collections and eating all the fried chicken he could get. Now,
I felt sick inside.
some people...
They were paying David back for what he did to Ault by telling the tale of a preacher the mountain people hated.
Well, choked on a chicken bone.
That's right. Tell it.
The other people say all the chickens in the cove got their necks wrung for the preacher's dinners. There wasn't nothing for it but to get rid of him.
What's the matter, preacher? Ain't you enjoying the story? Ain't been treated so fine today, have you, preacher? Well, that's what we think of folks pestering with other folks' business.
No! No!